So YouTube, I got a question for you. Do you remember the grunge movement and when the bands you grew up listening to tried and so-called sold out for the grunge? Try to stay with the times. Well, luckily for you, I have some of the albums here and they vary in quality. I would put it lightly. They really vary in quality. And I don't have all of them here right now that I want to talk about, but a majority are right here. And I just didn't feel like going through all my records. There's probably some over there I forgot, but I'm definitely going to make a second part of this because there's a couple I need to get yet. At least a few. So let's get started. A while back, I'm going to go from the ones I hate the most first. A while back I did a video on a band called Svengali. And they were like the Canadian version of Skid Row. And then, I think this is also 95. Yep, this 95 is the worst for like selling out albums. 30 years, all these. I'm gonna probably make a video of 30th anniversary videos because it is 30 years on. And then they went grunge, and like some other bands did. But this album, though, there's some albums that I'm like, there's a few songs I like, and it's not too bad. This album is dog shit. Hate to say it. I even mentioned it on the video about Svengali I did in Wire. Now, I don't know how to explain it, but like every song here has like voice effects almost, and then like slows down to like acoustics, and just boring as shit. Fucking annoying, boring shit. What You Give was one of the singles to lead off the album. It's bad. It's probably the best song or second best song. It's still terrible. This might be the worst CD I have on in my whole collection. I paid $1 for it because I knew it was bad, but I just wanted to buy it just to see if maybe there were some hidden gems, and there's not. And the last one, Keeps Me Down, the second song, was the video. They did a video for it. And it is the best song on the album, I'll give it that. And it's still not saying much. I'll play it here for a second. Keeps Me Down, and you'll get the idea. So yeah, it's not good. That was In Wire by Svengali. Next up, a lot of people probably know this one, it'll be on the list. Belly to Belly, or should I say Warrant 96, try to fit with the trend, I guess. I don't know what the fuck Genie was thinking. I love the guy. He was a hell of an underrated songwriter, except for this album. And some people might think Ultraphobic was a sellout record, but it was pretty damn good, actually. This thing, I don't know what the fuck you call this. It's like alternative, boring. There's not even a title track. There's not even a track list on the back. I do like one song on this album only, and that's they played it on Warrant 97 live album. Indian Giver has a cool bass riff in it. It's just a cool song, alternative metal song. And then the only other one I might even say anything about is Letter to a Friend. It's like an acoustic ballad, alternative ballad. It's passable at best, but by far worst shit Warren has ever done. It's not even close. It's just, I don't know how to put it any better. Next up, some people like this album. I got a comment recently on a video, but I always hated it. It's LA Guns American Hardcore, or so-called The LA Guns to stand out. I don't know if they could have called it LA Guns. Apparently from that comment, the person said they weren't allowed to or something. But anyway, it was Steve Riley, rest in peace, Tracy Guns, Johnny Crypt, bass, and Chris Van Dahl, the singer. This guy. And he tries to sound like a mix of like Phil Anselmo and like alternative grunge. It's really heavy record, I'll give him that. I mean, it's the heaviest LA Guns record. It doesn't sound like the classic Hollywood Sunset Strip rock. It's just like grungy, rappy. There's even parts like rap in there, rap metal. It's fucking garbage. Some people love it though. The one song I do like is the only one that's different, I guess you could say, on the record, Next Generation. It's a short song, 2.5 minutes. It's near the end. It's punk. It's hardcore punk. And I'm not a big punk guy, but compared to the rest of these fucking songs, it's like grunge metal, alternative metal, rap metal. I don't know. It's just, it's not very good. I mean, I'm pissed because I'm pissed. Like he says, I talked about it on my LA Guns video. I forgot to play a fucking Warren clip, but anyway, here's Belly to Belly out. Here's Indian Giver from the album. That was Indian Giver, and the one I'll play from this one really quickly is Next Generation. It's not a bad song. The rest of them are dog shit though. Next Generation. Next up, maybe the last of this group. I mean, I don't really hate this album compared to the other three, but it's pretty damn bad as well. And that's Shadow Life by Dawkins. I did a review on this too, not the album, but the album ranking. I almost put, I'm pretty sure I put this last. Could be wrong. My fucking ADHD, but I think I put this last. I almost put Hell to Pay last because I hate that record too. But this is definitely grunge. But the first few songs, Puppet on a String has a cool guitar intro, Cracks in the Ground, Sky Beneath My Feet. Then the rest of the album is just boring, grungy, forgettable shit. Convenience Store Messiah, probably the worst Dawkins song ever recorded. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a while since I listened to it. It's just boring as shit. Here's Puppet on a String. We're all puppets on a string. So now we're getting into the bad albums, but it has a couple songs I like. Starting off, this fucking cover. The artist, formerly known as Dangerous Toys, is a copy of the Prince cover. This is definitely grunge all the fucking way. If you listen to Share the Kill, the video they released for it, it's grunge as shit. Cure the Sane is definitely 90s alternative rock. And Take Me Swiftly is like really hardcore, screaming type vocals and parts of the song. The one song that I do like on this album is very fucking different. It's Transmission. It's talking about aliens take me to your leader, because I'm tired of living, basically here. It's very stoner type, like mellow song. I don't know how to explain it, but I do like it. It's a good song. And yeah, and then the other song I would say it's good on here is Better to Die. It's better to die on your feet than on your knees. That's the closest you'll get to a Dangerous Toys type song in the previous albums. Yeah, and that's New Anger's really heavy. Yeah, it's pretty boring. The Numb's definitely grunge. So it's Transmission's a stony type spaced out song about aliens, and the other one, Better to Die, is alternative metal with a somewhat of a classic chorus. So that's the artist formerly known as Dangerous Toys. I'll play Transmission just because it's fucking different shit. Next up, I don't even know where to put this in the list. It could be up higher, I guess, but it still sucks, and I never liked it that much. You know it was going to be on this list. Generation Swine. Yep. What can you say about this? They tried every type of fucking trend, alternative, grunge, Monster Magnet type, alternative song like Beauty. Find myself like, I don't know, gotta find myself some trends. That's what I should have said on this album. Afraid I do like the single, the most popular song on the album. It's pretty good. Flush sounds like Stone Temple Pilots, you know. Generation Swine's also a good song because it's classic Crew. It's a classic Crew track, obviously. It's the closest one. A Rat Like Me is pretty good too. It's kind of classic Motley a little bit too, and the rest though is like reaches for, you know, alternative, grunge, post-grunge. And the weird thing about Glitter, that soul, like ballad, was written by Bryan Adams. I didn't know that until recently, so yeah. I don't know, apparently they contacted Bryan Adams to write a song, so there you go. So, I'll play title track. Segue into that, here is Vince before that. And by the way, Motley Crue Generation Swine was being recorded with John Corabi. Now if he would have, they wouldn't have pressured the band to bring back Vince because his voice isn't really grunge or alternative. That album probably would have been a lot better because I do like the original Motley Crue album with John Corabi. Speaking of grunge with Vince Neil, here's the Carved in Stone record that bombed. It was like a lot of electronic computer stuff and grunge and alternative. But I hated this record when it came out. It's grown on me a little bit, so I like it more than Generation Swine. Surprisingly, most people would be like, what the fuck? But Generation Swine was a big letdown. This didn't have much of the expectations, so maybe that's why. Breaking in the Gun has all that electronic shit at the beginning, but I kind of like the chorus. The Crawl was this the promo single released. It's a pretty decent song. Black Promises, that's a cool song. Skylar song, of course, Skylar Neal tribute song, the piano ballad, easily the best song on the album. Make You Feel's interesting. It rips off Black Sabbath. I swear to God, they took one of my favorite guitar, shit in my throat right at the moment, one of my favorite guitar riffs, Electric Funeral reminds me of by Black Sabbath. And they pretty much took that and, you know, used it in this song, changed it a little bit. I'll make you feel again. Cool song. And my other favorite song, second favorite song, is Writing on the Wall. It's Can't You See the Writing on the Wall? It's a cool song. The other songs were okay. I mean, there's some really bad ones, but One Last Mouth to Feed's alright. The riff is grungy ballad, like acoustic ballad, but overall it's grown on me a little bit. It's not great, but it's tolerable now, and I appreciate it for what it is. And I'll play Make You Feel just so you can just so you can hear the Black Sabbath riff. So here we go, Make You Feel. Well, speaking of the guitar player on the album, wasn't Steve Stevens like the first album. It was Brent Woods of Wildside. You remember them? Hang On Lucy, glam metal band. Well, they went grunge and Brent Woods left. They replaced Brent Woods and went total grunge. And he left because he didn't want to go grunge, but apparently he did it anyway on that album. And here it is, the Wildside self-titled 95, another 95. 95, see where I'm going with 95? 95. So I'm going to have to make a 95 30th anniversary album video, and it's going to be all these again. And this album, it's it's nothing like, it's Alice in Chains pretty much. Nothing like Under the Influence. Life in the Grid is a pretty heavy song, pretty fast-paced song for the album. It's a good opener. Generation Overkill's another. It's like a punky type grunge song. It's another short, fast song. Last song, Company of Users. I am in the company of users, my friend. That's my favorite song for the album. I like that song. I like Generation Overkill. Life in the Grid's not bad. The Grave's not bad. So I don't hate this album as much as everybody else does, but it's not great, but it's passable like the rest of these. So I'll play. Let's play The Grave. Next up is what's playing in the background. You can hear it's grungy as shit. It's kind of a monotonous album, but it has some highlights, and that is Irrelevant by Slick Toxic, their second and final album. Their first album was Doing the Nasty, which is a glam metal record, hair metal record. This one, definitely grungy. And it's kind of irrelevant if you think about it. 20-something, the opener, it's alternative hard rock. They made a video for that. Kill the Pain, Voodoo, and Drained. This is pretty much all grunge rock. Then you have I Want a Gun, I Want a Fucking Gun, to shoot up people, so pre-Columbine and living today pretty much. Liquid Calm is a cool acoustic, grungy stoner ballad, like stoned out type ballad. It's probably my favorite off the album. Dive is another video. They actually made 2 videos for this record, believe it or not. And then Just Fade Away is like the hard rock, faster paced song to end the record. So I would say the first and last song are the closest you'll get to the original type of sound, and the rest are all grunge. I'll just play my favorite one, Liquid Calm. Here's Liquid Calm. Now this one next is the most interesting in the whole fucking group, because a lot of people don't even realize it exists, and it's by a famous band, and none of the songs have been played live, and I don't know how to put it. I never liked it to begin with, then when I listened to it going back into this, I wouldn't say it's a bad record. It's actually pretty decent, but it's just not what you think from this band. And that's the Kiss Carnival of Souls Lost Sessions, I guess, the final sessions. None of these songs have been played live, and it's like Kiss meets Black Sabbath meets Alice in Chains. I'm not joking. It's very grungy, it's very doomy at parts, and it's very hard. This album is heavy as shit. It's not like the fun party 70s Kiss or the 80s hard rock hair metal Kiss or the disco Kiss. It's nothing like that. It's just hard, heavy, all doomy hard rock. And it's interesting because they never played it live, like I said, never talked about. I don't even know if half the Kiss fans even fucking know about it. And it's just, I don't know. When I listen to it, it's like, it's not a bad album. It sounds good, but it's just, there's no traditional Kiss on there. There's no Rock and Roll All Night. There's no Love Gun, or there's not even like any Tears Are Falling 80s Kiss. There's nothing that's I wouldn't say it's memorable, but it's just like, holy shit, it's Kiss, you don't expect it. So first 3 songs, Hate, Rain, Master and Slave, really good. Jungle, I think, was released as a single, or they made a single from it, even though it was never played. It's a good one too. And I think I have to play It Never Goes Away, because a lot of these songs reflect what I just said, but It Never Goes Away reminds me of, like I said, Black Sabbath meets Kiss meets Alice in Chains. So as fucked up as that is, that's what this album is. So It Never Goes Away. Thanks. Last 2 are by far my 2 favorites of this group. I talked about this band and this album before on one of my previous videos. That's Violent New Breed, Shotgun Messiah. This album has an interesting story because I don't know if I would call this selling out, because they changed their style each album. Their nickname is almost like Bandwagon Messiah, because they started out like Glam and Hair Band, and Second Coming is still like it's like a hard rock, Guns N' Roses type vibe with some punk influences, and which is an amazing record. And this one is industrial. It has like a lot of computerized shit. But did they really sell out? Because this album came out before any of those industrial bands. This is like the first one, and it didn't sell before, like I don't know what bands come to mind because I don't listen to industrial, but this was really the first of its kind. And if you take away that industrial and computerized shit underneath of it, that sheen, the cover of that, it definitely sounds like Shotgun Messiah, like sort of like Second Coming in a way. I'm a Gun, cool opener. Violent New Breed, great title track. Enemy and Me, Jihad. These are so many good songs. Rain. It took me a while to get into this album, but like I said, it's now my second favorite of the 3, and it's pretty damn good. So here's I'm a Gun. I want to go last up, I'm not going to talk about this very long because I made a video on it, and I've always liked this album. It's not as good as the first 2, but I think it's a solid fucking album, even though it's heavier. Well, I don't know. It's not really heavier because the previous album's fucking heavy as shit too, but it's definitely a 90s style, and the band hated it. That's Subhuman Race, and it's by far, like I said, my favorite of these albums I just talked about. Beat Yourself Blind's a cool fucking track. My Enemy, they made a video for. The ballad Breaking Down is off of the first Prophecy with Christopher Walken and Eric Stoltz. I wouldn't say it's a great album, but it's pretty damn solid. Into Another, and all these songs, the title track. So I'll play, from this album, I'll play something let's play Frozen, because it definitely reminds me of the time period. It's definitely maybe the most grungiest, whatever fuck word, alternative song and records. So that's all the albums I grabbed. this time. If you made it through this far at the end of the video, you're brave, because a lot of people hate these albums, and I hate a lot of them too. And some of them are not bad after you give them a chance, but I wanted to make a video of albums that, you know, so-called sellout albums, you know, the grunge train, hitch on their bandwagon grunge type sound albums. So I don't know, do you like any of these albums? Do you even know some of these albums? I'm sure you don't know a couple of them. In Wire, it's fucking terrible. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll put a video here, and there's a few albums I didn't put in this list because I just thought 12 was enough with all the song samples. Hopefully it works and I don't have to redo it. So anyway, thanks for watching. As always, I'll put a video like I said here. Please subscribe, it always helps. And as I always say, peace, rock on, see you soon.